What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another episode and another week of the What the Fuck podcast. I can't speak, and this is take two.
Take two.
I'm Nick. That's Gunk. Gunk. We are having fun.
Yep.
I am, at least, in terms of the Devils. you you are really
I'm not.
not. Um,
No.
it has been rough. 4-6 in your last 10, alternating wins and losses every game. Had what seemed to be a pretty decent game against Utah, a 3-1 win. Let's talk about that real quick. I think that the Devils probably played a pretty good game from what you said.
hmm
Uh, to get out there to get a pretty solid win to start everything off seemed to be nice. It seemed like the Devils were starting to trend in the right direction again after dropping a couple here and there. One thing I saw before we had to cut, I had it written down that I wanted to mention. The last time the Devils won two games in a row was back on January 22nd and 25th. A 5-1 win against Boston and a 4-3 overtime win against Montreal, both of which we talked about on here.
Right.
Is there a concern that the Devils aren't able to string together wins? Because I don't think they've really had that many compounded winning streaks over the course of the season of like 4, 5, 6 games.
Oh no. I don't think it's been. I don't think it's been more than actually two this whole year. I mean, they may have had like two here and then a one loss and then like two more after that. But I don't think There's been a consistency, especially with win streaks this year. And again, it was a concern. But again, it was one of those where you would win two and then lose one and then lose. It was kind of a you're winning at a two out of every three games. So it really was a concern. At that point that,
Mm.
hey, you know what, you're getting points. Even in some of these losses, you were getting point. You were getting the loser point in these situations. So it wasn't really a big concern because we had such a big lead, going in, especially after that Christmas break. I mean, we were probably at least a good 10 to 11, 12 points away from, the closest competitor. And
Mm.
now the deficit's only between 3 and 4. I mean, with the Rangers with their OT win last night, or oh, excuse me, OT loss last night, they gained a point even on us. So, this went from, hey, we're definitely, I mean, at the January point, we were about a 98% percentage, to make the playoffs. That is down to about 85%, and it's going down drastically, especially now with the injuries, the scheduling, everything that's going on right now. So, you
Yeah,
know, it
and with
it's
these
panic button time again.
absolutely, and
It
with these
feels like
points in the
it.
line, with these points in games that you're just missing out on, because before that stint that I just mentioned, where you won those two games in a row, you had lost the four straight before that.
Right.
The only reason why it made it seem even slightly okay was because you went 0-2 and the two saved you.
Right,
The
exactly.
last two saved you.
Exactly.
So it is starting to become crunch time, especially with teams around you making other moves.
Right, exactly.
I think the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The best time to make a hockey trade is now. Tom
Oh,
Fitzgerald
absolutely.
needs to get on his horse. You've had Mikko Rantanen traded into your division. You didn't make a move. Immediately trying to respond to that. The Rangers trade for JT Miller into the division. You
Right.
haven't made a move to answer to that.
No.
All these teams around you are getting better. Pittsburgh just got a little bit better. They're trying to still make a push. They just got Luke Shen and Tommy Novak from Nashville.
Yep.
So the division is getting better. The Caps are an amazing team. Carolina's been an amazing team with everybody that they've been able to get. So the teams around the Devils are getting better, and I don't think Fitz is doing anything. Like I don't think he's picked up his phone.
No, and this is like I said, this is his time right now. He's got the next one as we record this about 36, maybe 24 to 36 hours left to improve this team. And he's gonna now with Jack Hughes' injury, he's gonna have to make a huge splash. And it's unfortunate because, again, there's players on this team, we can't give up on the season. I'm sorry. You have,
Oh no, I
you
don't
still have
think
the
you should give up
future.
on the season, but I definitely
Right.
think you should be one of the top players on every single name.
You should be on every single one of those top those top guys right now. And you know what? If it's a rental right now, it's perfectly fine. If you're gonna have to give up something to get something right now, and unfortunately, you have the couple D men that you can use, but unfortunately with that now with Dougie Hamilton after the game against Dallas, he's week to week now, so you don't know what to do with him. I mean, it's really has been, like I said, the last 3 days have been really hectic in Devil's Land, and like I said, it's getting the panic button pushing time, and we're gonna see what Tom and the upper ups in the Devils organization are gonna be doing in the next 24 hours. And as the trade line day gets going, they can't just add the little extra third line, fourth line guy, and let this fan base be happy, because they are not going to be. They're
No,
not going to be.
they're absolutely not going to be, because
And especially,
those
and
depth
especially
guys aren't even doing anything that you have right now. The
right.
ones in
And
the
especially,
lineup right now aren't doing anything.
and again, especially if one of these other teams that are behind you or in a little bit in front of you, like a Carolina, makes a big move to add to their team, it's just going to make you look not very smart in a lots of fans' eyes. So, there's fans on the side that are like, Jack's hurt, season's over. There's also fans like kind of like I am, where it's like, we have all these stars still. They can still make it click. Go make a big move. You got Markstrom, and he's not getting any younger. You got these players. Some of these players that are not getting any younger. This is the time right now. Go do it. Go get a Marchand, who's been rumored. Go get.
Oh,
Even they want. Even Carolina wants to get rid of Rantanen because he won't sign. Go call them and see what they want for him. Call the Islanders. Call for a Nelson and a Palmieri. Find make a splash. That's right
yeah,
now.
because
Make a splash.
I feel like you would get a lot of value out of a guy like a Brock Nelson, and even bringing back
Absolutely.
Palmieri. I feel like you would get a lot of value because this team is so young. You got a
Right.
lot of guys that need that veteran leadership. It just sucks that Jack isn't in the lineup for a move like that to be made, because I feel like he could benefit from having another older guy that isn't Andre Palat or fucking
Right.
Eric Holla.
That's producing. That's actually
Yeah,
producing
that
on
can
the
actually
level
do
right now.
anything.
That's
Because
actually doing stuff.
I was watching the Heartbreaker game the other night. I happened to see that it was on Disney
Oh,
Plus, and I was just like, you know what?
right.
Let's see what happens. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw that they had got shut out in the Vegas game. Markey came back. Jack goes down. So it seemed like it was going to be rough.
Right.
But the magic number is 3.9.
That
What a
again,
way to fight and claw back. But wow, that is brutal.
and that you know what, and if you look in my eyes, you can see the depthness that it really feels. That loss might be the beginning of the end. It really is. Like
That one
how we were talking
hurts.
about. Remember how we were talking early season that maybe that Madison Square Garden loss right before Christmas was like, oh, the Rangers are dead.
Oh, yeah, it's over.
Yeah, this this might be that moment for me for this season, because that team fought back from 3-1 down in the third, got it to 3-3 with some wonderful friggin' like
Oh,
I
insane play.
insane
That team was
plays.
running off the power of friendship for a little bit.
The the Pesci goal where he's just standing there and the puck just rolls right to him and he waits. It seemed like forever and just sniped it past the Smith. It was like this was meant to be. All right, let's at least get to overtime, and then they call the icing, which again, icing is a very you can't say nothing to the refs. It's one of those. It's not like it's a judgment call, but it's
I think it's so
I'm not gonna
stupid.
be one of these. Yeah, I'm not gonna be one of these NFL conspiracy theorists about oh, we're throwing penalties at the wrong time. No, I mean it was a judgment call. You know what? If you wanted to get the puck in, you should have. Coach said you should have drove it in deeper. How about you drive it a little
Yeah.
extra, 2, 3 feet
Put
in,
it a little bit harder.
and shoot it. Yeah, shoot it a little bit. Yeah, you know what I mean. Just push that little extra, like half a millisecond up a little bit, and then shoot it in. So, and then again, it's heartbreak. I mean, like it's hard to get over these losses, especially the way they fought back after Jack Hughes gets injured. They don't give up on themselves. They stay in the game and they lose with 3 seconds left. And it's like I said, it's you could just tell like by the locker room interviews, which I watched a few of them, and they were. I mean, Timo Meyer's just coming out and just saying this fucking sucks. I mean, that's literally what his quote was it fucking sucks, and I can't disagree with him. I can't disagree with him at all.
Yeah, no, that does suck. But I mean,
Mhm.
I I feel like this team wouldn't be at this point if other players in the lineup were able to actually play meaningful hockey. I mentioned
I
his
agree.
name. Eric Hall is on the ice at 3.9. Why? I don't even have anything else to go with the question. Why is Eric Hall out at this time of the game? Do you not have
I
anybody else that you trust to be out there during crunch time like this? When you just
right.
need to get to overtime?
That's I think that was the mindset of put out put out the defensive players, try to keep it defensive, try to keep the point, try to they were playing for a point right there, and it just didn't work out in their advantage.
Yeah,
They weren't playing to win. They were playing to for overtime, and
yeah, they were playing to
sometimes
not
you just
lose
play
and you
they playing to
lost.
not lose. And that's, unfortunately, that's coaching right there. I mean, I've loved Shelby Keith this whole year, but unfortunately, I gotta crap on him about that because that was a terrible. I mean, I don't want coaches that are gonna be playing for ties. I mean, if it's in your zone and there's like 10 seconds ago and you want to put out the defense and you got the puck behind the net, go for it.
Sure,
Hey, play for the
absolutely.
tie. You know, you battled back. You're you're on the road. You have the tie. You know, I don't play for the tie. Go for the win. I mean,
Yeah,
put out your best players, and if you lose with your best players, then hey, fine. But
yeah, you lost with
give
Eric
yourself a
Hollis
fighting chance.
screening your own fucking goaltender.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah,
exactly.
and it doesn't even feel like it's getting better because your next game is tomorrow night at home against Winnipeg, the
Like,
number
yeah,
one team in the league.
one. Yeah, which they'll probably come out and put a great performance on. So the way this team has been playing the last, like I said, last since Christmas time, I wouldn't put it past them. But again, they're another team that really seems like it's fraudulent. They haven't beat a playoff team in a long time. And I can't say the stat exactly because I can't remember exactly when, but they haven't beat a playoff team in a long time. And it seems like they're beating a lot of these mid-level teams. They're losing to the bad teams, losing to the good teams, but beating all the middling teams. It's really weird.
Yeah,
The season turns out really, really weird that it started out so promising and now it's like your head's right above water and you're doggy paddling to the top. I mean, that's basically what it feels like right now.
yeah, and the next two games after this Winnipeg game aren't really that much easier because they're two teams that are gonna want to try to get there. You got
Right.
Philly after that, and then Columbus. Philly's a little bit further back, so you can play around with that one. But Columbus is on your doorstep. Columbus is getting ready to be in your kitchen.
Oh, and by the way, let me. Oh, we actually have I don't know if it's a minor trade, real
Oh,
quick, from the Devils.
oh yeah, you had
Um,
Trent
the,
Frederick for all of 5 seconds.
oh yeah, that really drove Devils fans really nuts. But apparently, let's see, the New Jersey Devils have acquired defenseman Brian Dumont. I did these French names from Anaheim. He played on the Pittsburgh Penguins championship team.
Brian Dumoulin, baby.
Dumoulin,
That
thank
is
you.
Brian Dumoulin.
Yes, in exchange for prospect Herman Traff and a second round pick in 2025.
Okay.
Anaheim Anaheim will also pick up 50% of his contract, which is only 3 points. So
Ooh.
yeah, so it's 1.5 million you're gonna get. You're only paying for him. So I mean, I don't know. Again, stats. Seems like he's a pretty good.
Oh,
Second, maybe third line, third pairing guy.
oh
Could
yeah,
move up to the
absolutely.
second line.
He's at the end of his
You know,
career. He's 33 years old.
yeah.
Played for Pittsburgh for the back-to-back Cup wins. and was one of the main reasons why they won the cup. I mean, has has a decent amount of experience, 687 games played, and this move was definitely made because Dougie is going to be out
Yeah,
probably for
absolutely.
a little bit of extra time. But even
No,
then, you could
absolutely.
use a guy like Brian Dumoulin later on, and he could help with the Devils defensemen that are young. He could help.
Yeah,
He could help Nemec. He could help Kovacevic get more of a groove going.
yeah, I agree.
So this is a
From
good
looking at it,
trade,
yeah, this is a really good start. If this is
but you
what
need
we're this is
more.
the start,
This is the problem.
we
You
need
need
more.
more, and
Yeah,
it feels too late.
yeah, it. I mean, again, you never know, but that's for me right now. Like I said, that doesn't ease my tensions or anything. It's a nice little pickup, but now I feel like we're in the market. Okay, I feel like we have a little bit of a direction now. Okay, we're going to go for a little older guy. Now let's see what else the market brings us. So, good little first move here, I
Yeah,
would say, for
nice, tidy
myself.
little piece of work. But do you think that if the Devils fall out of a playoff spot, that at the end of the year Fitzgerald is no longer the GM of this team, or do you think they try to keep running it back? Because I think the team's got it, but
That
I don't think the moves, if he makes none or they don't make a move that's going to get them to stay where they're at, I think you may need to consider it because the what was it 2022 that they played the Rangers? That season was very good. The year after that, you thought you had it turned around, down near the
and you
bottom
didn't.
again.
Hmm.
You make the moves to get back to it. You get Markstrom, you get Pesci, you get whoever. Get there, hold a spot for most of the season, and then bow out. I think you got to start looking at it.
It will be a conversation. It also depends. Again, that's where we come down now to the like I said, the next 24 hours, which it's if he goes all in, that if he kind of holds back, you kind of it's a little bit of a like he's trying to save his job kind of move. Like hey, Jack went down. Like he has that big excuse now. Well, we don't have our star, so if I do kind of like back off, you could say, hey, well, let's get Jack healthy. Let's get we'll pick up some players in the off season. The cap's going up a little bit. Maybe we'll pick up a couple pieces here and there where we bring Jack back you know, we have the team gel for for a full season together. He could be trying to save his job, but if he goes out today or tomorrow and puts a blockbuster deal together and sends some of these kids away and doesn't succeed in making a playoff spot, it could cost him his job. It really
Yeah,
could.
I. That's the way I was thinking. Uh, you gotta make the right move, but you gotta make the smart move.
Right,
But I
absolutely.
mean,
Yeah.
two first round. Oh, those are second round picks. I was gonna say you had two first round picks this year. You don't. You have none.
No, we
But I
don't.
mean, even a first round pick next year and 2 seconds this year, you can make something work with those picks because I mean, if you're trying to win now, you don't need a second round. You don't need two second round picks this year in a
No.
weak draft class, or even second round picks next year or the year after that.
Yeah.
You'll get more picks. You won't get more opportunities to try to win with this core right now.
No. And if you're all in with this core, then you got to be all in. You can't worry about the 26th draft right now.
Yeah, you almost
You
have
have
to be all in.
you got to be right now. It's like you said, unfortunately, like I said, and if you see nothing's made unless something comes out where it was just ridiculous price for it, then if you just tell me if you find one of these big guys that go across for a second round pick and like a lower prospect to another team that's in your division or in your conference and you didn't pull that trigger, Devils fans are going to go nuts for it. I'm just telling you right now, they're going to go crazy that you didn't put the you know you didn't put it in for that player,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what's going to happen because that's how Devils fans are.
And I'm seeing a lot of people talking about Jake Allen's play as of late, and it hasn't ever really been that impressive. Do you think the Devils try to go out and try to find a cheap backup goalie, or do you think maybe they try to keep the tandem that they have to try to improve in other spots? Because I feel like there's a couple just holes on this team one of them could have been patched by a Trent Frederick that was on your team for like a cup of
Right.
coffee. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
I was talking to one of my coworkers the other day because he's a Devils fan, and I was like, Trent Frederick was a Devil for about 5 seconds, and he goes, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, the Devils were a part of a three-way trade," and he
Yeah.
goes, "What they get from the trade?" I was like, "Some guy."
They
Who the
got
fuck is Shane LaChance? That is such a white boy Disney Channel Disney Channel kid name.
well. That's the NHL Scott Chance's son, and he's actually part of
Oh,
the Devils scouting organization. So
oh,
nepotism.
that's who that. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense. Well, he's a UFA in 2031, so
Yeah,
that's
and is also not is slated as an AHL player basically. So
that's fine. That's fine.
yeah, so
So is Matt Rempe, and he's on the fourth line. What are we
that is
doing?
true. Yeah. So you never know what you're gonna get. So,
Don't
but
let your
yes,
dreams be dreams.
yeah. So we basically picked up a nepo baby for for that trade basically.
Okay,
Nice.
baby. That's what you like to say. But
Oh yeah, no. My favorite quote the other day, right before the Dallas game, was I hope I hope the 25% of Trent Fredrickson's contract plays really well tonight.
yeah, oh, he's gonna play like a beast. That's why I. That's why I
Oh
love
no,
when teams.
they
I
didn't.
love when people treat future considerations as a guy,
Oh, I love that. I
or
love
like,
those little
or
memes.
like in the WWE when it's vacant.
Bacon, yes,
Vacant has had
absolutely.
so many titles. Get
Oh,
him in the Hall of Fame.
absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I totally agree with that one.
Oh God, yeah. But we do have some wrestling stuff that we got to talk about. Let's get into the Rangers real quick so we can get into that
Yeah.
other stuff. Uh,
Although
uh
Rangerland's been pretty well recently, so
Rangerland has been a lot of has been kind of
gotta give
fun. Uh,
the JT Miller thing has worked out, which is very well. Again, very good for Rangers fans. I mean,
and it's worked out for Miko, which I care about. Number one player in points since the trade. I want to say since January 15th, which is fucking insane.
mm-hmm.
He's back. A lot of the team is back. They've been playing a lot better without Adam Fox, and that's concerning because he's here for a while.
Right, exactly.
He's here for a long time. And if this is how you're playing with him out of the lineup, I'm terrified to see the way he plays in the lineup. Because I've been happy with the way the defensive pairings have looked. I mean, the game against Toronto that we had the day after last week's pod,
Right.
that sucked. You lost 3-2 in regulation when you could have gotten to overtime because Igor needs to stop playing the puck from behind the fucking net. When there's opposing players right in front of you. Stop.
Stop. Just
You see
let
the
him-
blue? You see that blue? Go there. I'm gonna
Right,
tie this
exactly.
fucking guy up like Millhouse. I can't do it.
I saw that. Yeah.
Stop.
I
You
agree.
could have gotten a point. You could have made it to overtime, even if you lost. I don't care. Get to overtime
Right.
against good teams. Even if you lose, it's fine. I'm
Exactly.
fine with that. But then, a couple days after, you get a day off. You come back against Nashville. 4-0 shutout for Jonathan Quick at 39 years old, by the way. What a stud. What a
Absolutely.
stud. 4-0.
Yeah.
Miller has another 2-point game. Mika keeps racking up points. Team's looking good again. I mean, you follow that up with another 4-0 shutout against the Islanders. The Islanders need to just blow it all up.
Yeah.
We can
they
be
really
honest.
No,
Lou
absolutely.
needs to go. He's not in the state of mind to make hockey moves anymore. The
No.
game has passed him by exponentially.
Absolutely. And I love Lou Lamoriello so much. And
Absolutely. But at this point, you're
he's gotta
not
hang
doing
on.
anything to help your team.
No, he's definitely not. Agreed, 100%. He's just right now a liability for that team. I mean, you're right. They just need to blow up that team, start fresh. They just need a couple seasons of, shark quality and pick up some picks here and there.
They already have the Sharks quality, though. And that's what's
Exactly.
the sad thing. They're just barely competitive to not be garbage enough.
Right.
Like you're just good enough to not be bad enough,
Totally. Yes.
which is so
Agreed.
sad and pathetic.
Uh,
But I could I'm fine with Lou being one of the main decision makers if you have other people helping you make the decisions. It came out yesterday that it's just gonna be him. You're not gonna talk
yeah.
to any of your guys until 3 o'clock tomorrow. What good is that going to do for your team when people are gonna be trying to call on Brock Nelson and you're trying to work on extending him?
Right.
He's 30.
Exactly.
He's in his upper 30s, his high 30s. You got to get something for this guy while you can. You can get a couple picks, make a couple picks, and try to
That's it.
build guys up in your system. You can find a way to do it. You have guys that you can build your team around. You have Bo Horvat. You have Matt Barzell. You have Sorokin. You have Dobson. That's your core four.
Right.
Every
Exactly.
team talks about their core four. Toronto with Matthews, Marner, Nylander, and Tavares. The Rangers have Panarin, Zibanejad, Kreider, Miller, whoever. It seems like the Rangers have a core eight.
Right.
The Devils with Jack,
With Jack,
Brat, Heischer.
sure.
Regardless of the team, you can look at everybody and have them.
Right.
You have a core to build your team around. Go and fucking build around it. You can get good guys. You just got to do what the Yankees did and finally let up on their fucking stupid rules that were in effect before any of these players were ever even born.
Right.
Let them dress how they want. Let them wear their hair how they want. Let them be hockey players. Don't make them be this vision that you think hockey players are now. Because they're not. The game has changed so much within the
Right.
just
No.
since the pandemic, hockey has changed so much.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's just 5 years ago.
Right.
Lou has been at this for 20 plus years.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's get a move on. Whether it's out of the front office or on to making better moves for your team. But the Rangers shut him out, so that's all I care about.
There you go.
And they got back into the playoffs. They were in a playoff spot for about a day.
Hey.
And then Ottawa got a point got a point or two, and the Rangers are now tied, and that's for that second wild card spot after their overtime loss last night. That game kind of sucks, but I'm happy.
And you got the point.
You got a point against the top team in your division, in your conference, near the top of the league. I'm happy with that because the last game we had against the Rangers in Washington, I was on here spewing a much different story.
No, absolutely.
They had gotten shelled, and to have a lead for most of the game, who else better to tie it than him? 10 goals away.
The grade 8, baby.
It sucks that they lost, but you know what? You lost in overtime. I respect a point. I respected the effort throughout the entire game. First and second period was fantastic. Third period was a little rough. Overtime was pretty rough. I think this team needs to be able to make a couple small moves on tomorrow and tonight if they can. And they can try to be a sneaky team coming up.
Oh, yeah.
They're still talking about moving on from Kreider. I'm with it now. At the beginning of the season, I wasn't. It didn't make sense. Now it makes sense. The team has looked so much better without him in the lineup. It sucks. He's been one of your franchise faces for the last 13 years. It's okay.
It is. Yep. Absolutely.
It is okay. He can go somewhere. Get him to a contender. If you want to see him win that badly, let him go to a contender. let us try to get assets, a small amount of assets back to try to make it work, so you're not losing your guy for nothing.
Right.
I would be happy with that. I think a lot of Rangers fans, while it sucks, would be happy with it. We've had to deal with moves that sucked before. Buchnevich is gone. Zuccarello is gone. Kreider will be gone.
Exactly.
It's just a matter of accepting it, realizing that this is the business part of the sport. We always talk about the business. I've gone extensively on the business side of this sport. It's gotta suck, but I think it's the right move at this point. You gotta get younger. You can't be locked into these contracts for as long as you have been. A change has to be made there. And I think you could get a solid little return for Chris Kreider still. I think if he can recoup from the back injury he's been having, he can come back, be a 30-goal scorer again for another season or two, and it'll all be fine.
Yes, absolutely. Especially put him on the power play on any of these teams with put him as put him as a net front like he does on a power play. He'll get you 30 goals when he's healthy. I mean,
exactly.
But like I said, right now, like I said, yeah, send them again. If Rangers fans love it, send them to a nice contender. Let them go try to win a cup with and then see what happens after that. But no, again, he's had a great career with the Rangers, and sometimes, like I said, unfortunately, a lot of players don't play for just one team for their whole careers, and it sucks for us fans, but sometimes then you just go root for the player, and I feel like that's what Rangers
and that's
fans
exactly what I do. I am a Rangers fan, but I am also a Chris Kreider fan. I have been since he came into the league. I've watched his entire career.
Absolutely. Yep.
Anywhere he goes, I am a fan of that team now. But we got something else more fun to talk about. The motherfucking WE.
Again, they're back again. This draw is doing another WrestleMania. Holy shit.
Oh my god. What a birthday gift this WrestleMania is going to be for me this year. This is going to be great.
Yeah,
this is going to be great.
It's going to be great. The storylines, everything, I swear.
They finally did it, Gunk. They finally
did it.
At no better of a time. This is perfect.
And you just can't wait to see when he first comes out. I can't wait.
I was talking to my coworker who's a wrestling guy, and he said John Cena better come out rapping. He better come out spitting.
Oh,
come out.
The new song is gonna be fire. Holy shit! He's coming out with. It's gonna be But yeah,
I just need straight word life coming out, just hitting them with it. And
that first time is gonna be a rating fucking monster for Netflix or whoever has it. I mean,
man, you almost gotta hope that it's on Netflix, right? Like you gotta hope that they bring them out on Raw.
I'm just assuming. I'm
gonna be watching SmackDown tomorrow just to see because I am going to be super interested.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, I can't believe they finally did it. No better time than now. I mean.
No.
And to do it after the win of the chamber match is just absolutely great storytelling. You have everybody you want everybody invested in this way because you want to see him get 17, and now it's anything for 17.
No, absolutely.
And also, can we talk about The Rock doesn't know how to do this?
I was like, everyone, you gotta give Cena fucking credit. The way when Cody told him to go fuck himself.
Bro, Cody sounded like a child, but John Cena just running around the ring is so funny.
Running around, going nuts. And then the way when the face turn was, chef's kiss, man.
Can we talk about why Travis Scott was there? Why was
I also have a very interesting theory about that. I mean, if you want to get into wrestling talk real quick, I have a really interesting theory.
I mean, he just looks like a created wrestler in a video game that can't skip the cutscene, man. Like he just looks so goofy there. Like I get it's a big name to get more interested, But it's just like, bro, it's fucking like he's playing Fiend, and we're getting ready for the biggest fucking moment in a lot of these wrestling fans' fucking lives, and you got that. All right, but I mean, sure. Let's hear your theory. Let's hear your theory. I'm curious.
So if you follow, like I said, if you're following wrestling a lot, you noticed that he came out a couple weeks ago. I think it was right around, well, maybe it was like the Netflix release or the either the premiere Netflix or a couple weeks into the Netflix. He came out with Jey Uso, who is now going for the
Oh
world championship
yeah.
on against the Gunther. So
What?
the theory is at the end of WrestleMania this year, it's going to be Jey Uso coming out to help Cena beat Cody, and that is your threesome of the new kind of NWO kind of package
Jey
thing.
Uso, John Cena, and Travis Scott.
No, and The Rock, of course, The Rock. That'd be the
I think
three.
it's funnier if
Travis
I
Scott
think
Travis,
Travis Scott
Travis
is
Scott is
running the show. Travis Scott is booking all these motherfuckers.
Can I just say that and hopefully you'll get this, but Travis Scott is basically the Virgil of this group.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
he's definitely the Virgil of this group. So
Absolutely.
we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But Chamber itself as a pay-per-view was pretty good all around. I mean,
No, absolutely.
when you need a solid match, you call KO and Sami Zayn.
Oh God, absolutely.
You get Steen and El Generico on the phone and get them in
And
that fucking ring.
and again, we always bring the story up from when Nick was little. We saw them in a dirty gym in
Yeah.
friggin' Linden, New Jersey, fighting against each other, and it was just as good then, and it was just as good now. So
that match stole the card.
yeah,
The best match on the show.
oh,
The
absolutely.
men's chamber was fantastic. The final two being Punk and Cena, it was just like, holy shit, it's 2011. Get me my spinner belt. Get me what
Yep.
I need. Get me my hustle, loyalty, and also respect. For it to be thrown out the window.
And give me later on in this year, give me a fucking babyface CM Punk versus a heel Cena, please.
Oh, I need babyface Orton. I need babyface everybody to just
Absolutely.
go against Cena right now. This is going to be great. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
We're going to talk more on the podcast as we figure more stuff out about this. This is going to be
absolutely.
great. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
But gang, that's been Hockey and Wrestling with Nick and Gunk this week. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining us on take 2 of this week's episode because we didn't have my microphone on for the first one. Clock is ticking for you, Fitz. Clock is ticking for you, Drury. Gang, trade deadline is tomorrow. I will have so much content up there for you. As trades come out, I will be at work for a little bit of the morning, so I will not be immediately on the jump. But the second I get home from work, I will be on the presses here, right here on YouTube, making videos talking about a lot of the trades. I will try the best I can to get them up in a timely manner. I can only do so much. But
and if I'm awake tomorrow morning, I will follow it as much as I can on our TikTok also. So
there we go. So Gunk's got the TikTok side.
Yep.
I got the YouTube side.
YouTube
Trade
side over there.
deadline tomorrow. Check us out at What the Puck
24
Pod.
hours, baby. There
we
go.
are here. It's another Hockey Christmas. We are
Yes,
here.
it is.
We are having fun. I've been Nick. That's been Gunk. Gang, we love you. Have a good week, baby.
Peace.